This is a reading from the Notebooks by Marie Valtorta, 1943, December the 13th. Commentary on Psalm 34. Jesus says, I am speaking to you, my dear victims, who need a comforting angel to exhort you to suffer, just as I had one. For, if doing the will of my Father was dear to me, with my spirit inflamed with charity, I was not free from the terrors and rebellions of the flesh in the face of suffering. You, little Jesuses, are also aware of the dualism between the spirit and the flesh. The spirit crying out, Immolation to receive salvation, and the flesh moaning, Have mercy, I want to live and not suffer. But I come, and to fortify your flesh, too, for pain, I give you my word. I have mercy on your flesh as well, for when it is an instrument of redemption, when the Spirit of God possesses and moves it at his pleasure, like a stem of grass which the wind kisses, it is not unworthy, but holy matter, which will know the glory of my kingdom. I also sanctified the flesh by redeeming it with my doctrine and my blood, and those who live in fidelity to my doctrine, and do not mock my blood, but by virtue of it, as they go on cleansing themselves therein, improve themselves, make their flesh as well holy and acceptable to God. It is the robe of your altar. The altar is the soul, upon which the spirit immolates itself. But every altar should be covered with pure linen, to be ready to become a mystical table. Pure, sacrificed flesh, made precious by pain, is the altar cloth covering your altar, a snow-white, smooth, ornate cloth, where the eternal priest does not disdain drawing near and carrying out the rite with the host of your spirit. O dear victims, do not expect gratitude and understanding from the world. You are in the world, and the world does not know you, for you no longer belong to the world. In this, you see it, be like your master. You immolate yourselves for the world, and the world looks at you, shaking its head, or covering you with derision, and striking you with its perverse weapons. In this too, be like me. The world tries to draw you into dangerous traps with deceitful questioning, which appears to be praise and constitutes inquisitions aimed at putting the stones to lapidate you with into their hands. Respond to the world with silence and patience, and if it persists in its wicked inquisition to convince itself and feel justified, and all you say is blasphemy, respond, I am doing what my Father wants. My works are evident. I don't act in the shadows to do harm. I act in the light of the truth. If it seems to you that I am acting badly, show me how. If you cannot, because there is no evil in what I am doing, why do you strike me? Even if the world kills you, I will give you a twofold life, for you will be martyrs twice over, of the world and of love. Do not grow weary of being victims. May the insults and ingratitude of the world, though they are the blows of a battering ram against a fragile coach, not push you off the purple way of sacrifice, my way, which unites with the royal way of glory, and leads your spirits into the joy of my dwelling. Do not say, It is all useless, when the seed seems to have fallen upon unfruitful sod, because it does not immediately sprout into tender leaves. It is then that it sinks into deep roots, to arise later in a sturdier way, yielding a tuft of spikes with seeds. But it is your weeping that must irrigate the arid sod. It is your blood, either blood of the veins or blood of the spirit, that is, complete holocaust, which must nourish the dust without fluids and turn it into fertile land. Prayer is like water which evaporates under the rays of the sun and rises and then comes down to give nourishment to the earth. Your prayer, and your whole life is prayer, rises under the action of love to my throne and implores for your brothers and sisters. I who see and do not err, bless it and send it back to whoever is worthy to receive it. And if among your brothers and sisters you have only enemies of love, that is, of God and of yourselves, your prayer, which my blessing has turned into a grace, comes back to you and fills you with celestial goods. Do not grow weary of calling those who treat you as enemies brothers. The little Jesuses are unable to have anything but brothers, even if others are unable to have anything but the hatred of an enemy towards them. Let the unconscious and the Satan-conscious do their work. You do yours. I watch and judge, and give to each according to his merit. I have spoken to you to undeceive you about the human satisfactions of your life as victims. I, the supreme victim, never received so many insults during my 33 years of life as those I received in the few hours extending from Gethsemane to my death. But it was precisely those hours which made me the Redeemer. Remember this. For the time being, you must hope for comfort in me alone. When the trial is over, you shall have the blessedness of reading the names of those saved by you in the book of life, and of awaiting clasped to my heart their thanksgiving when, redeemed by our suffering, they enter into peace. To me, I do not speak to satisfy the curiosity of superstition, or even of simple humanity. I am not a pagan oracle, and I don't want you to be pagans. I will thus not take away from you the joy of my word, but will restrict my word to the points aimed exclusively at the Spirit, without drawing parallels between it and events at present or in the near future. This gap shall remain as a warning for many, and shall last as long as I will. But if a non-spiritual use should be made of your work, I will give you the command to write for yourself alone, and in the event you do not obey, I will take the word away from you. Man corrupts everything he touches. Your Jesus is restive and severe today, not regarding you, poor soul, but those who are not upright in heart and thought.